मेरे सभी सम्मानित देवियों एवं सज्जनों, आज चौथे सैन्य साहित्य उत्सव में आप सभी साहित्य प्रेमियों के बीच आकर मुझे बेहद खुशी हो रही है। यह उत्सव धीरे धीरे सैन्य जीवन और आम जनता को जोड़ने वाले एक ब्रिज के रूप में डेवलप हो रहा है। मैं इसके आयोजकों और इसमें भागीदार सेना से जुड़े लोगों और इसमें शिरकत करने वाले लोगों को अपनी ओर से हार्दिक बधाई भी देता हूं और अपनी हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं भी देता हूं।
Addressing the 4th Military Literature Festival through virtual link in New Delhi, Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh had said that such innovative initiatives provide an opportunity for the people in general and youth in particular to gain knowledge about the wars fought by our armed forces and get inspired from the experiences of the veterans, as also imbibe their patriotic fervor. Emphasizing on the importance of military history, Shri Rajnath Singh said soon after taking over as the charge of the Ministry of Defence, he constituted a committee to progress the work of writing border history of the country. Its aim is to benefit future generations' work and also by bringing out the border history, focusing on the battles fought there, sacrifices made by the soldiers in a lucid language that is eminently readable and easily understood by the general public. Rajnath Singh had said that several armed forces veterans and researchers publish periodicals and journals from time to time with a focus to narrow the knowledge gap between the people and the experts. And he said that this year's Military Literature Festival coincides with the Swarnim Vijay Divas celebrations of the 50th anniversary of the 1971 war, during which the valor displayed by our brave soldiers stands as a fine example even today. He appealed to the youth not to miss out on any opportunity to interact with the veterans and gain first-hand knowledge from their experiences. He appreciated the holding of various events and discussions during this literature festival that were not only limited to the military subjects but also covering the cultural aspects of our nation. Hello everyone and welcome back for another interesting and most informative, very detailed session regarding the defense updates being provided by SSB Crack Exams. I'm Hemant and I'm here back to discuss with you about the defense updates of the last 5 days coming from the 17th of December all the way up towards the 21st of December 2020. So this is a very special session regarding which we are discussing with you very important defense updates of these 5 most important dates, and the complete defense related information and study material is already being provided. So please go through with all the other issues. We are one-stop solution for those aspirants who are preparing for various defense examinations. So if in case you're preparing for the upcoming most important defense examinations like NDA, CDS, AFCAT, INET, Central Armed Police Force Assistant Commandant's examination, also the Group X or Group Y examinations of the Indian Air Force or the entrance exams of the Military Nursing Service or the Army Cadet College, we will always try to provide you. Please download our app or even subscribe to our courses online by going through learn.ssbcrackexams.com website. You can completely get the complete detailed lecture content, study material, sample practice questions, quizzes, exercises, and also the mock tests that are all made taking into consideration the latest exam patterns. You can even follow us on all sort of social media platforms to keep yourself updated with the most important Indian and international defense input. So I'm beginning with the question of the day that I've asked on 16th of December 2020 long back, and the question that I asked was this particular question: which multinational engineering firm has been appointed by the Indian Navy as the project management consultant for the prestigious Project Seabird Phase 2A? I repeat the question: which particular engineering firm has been appointed by the Indian Navy as the project management consultant for the prestigious Project Seabird Phase 2A? And the correct answer for this particular one is AECOM. Okay, AECOM has been appointed as that particular important engineering project management consultant for this particular prestigious Project Seabird. So what is this actually Project Seabird, sir? Project Seabird is actually considered to be the largest naval infrastructure project of our country. Okay, so this is actually regarding building of a complete naval base at Karwar on the western coast of our country, and upon completion this is actually around $3 billion program, and this is an effort to provide our Navy with its largest naval base on the west coast, and it's also considered to be the largest naval base east of the Suez Canal. Okay, so in the world, after the Suez Canal, the east of the Suez Canal, this particular important base is considered to be the largest naval base, and India is spending around $3 billion for this particular program to be built at Karwar, and this is considered to be the largest naval infrastructure project of our country, and this is a decade-long project, and AECOM is that particular multinational engineering firm. This will manage various important operations like planning, design, contracting, construction and acceptance of the entire works, including the construction of a new naval air station for our country. So this is a new and expanded naval complex. This will be able to support several major warships, submarines and yacht crafts. Okay, so the correct answer for this particular question is AECOM. Okay, remember this is a very, very important question. So now let us start off with going on with the first and foremost important defense update, and that is regarding the 35th edition of India-Indonesia Coordinated Patrol has recently conducted from 17th to 18th of December 2020, and this was conducted as a part of the Sagar program, which is launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the full form of Sagar is Security and Growth for All in the Region. I repeat, Security and Growth for All in the Region. And in this particular India-Indonesia Coordinated Patrol, Indian ship was INS Kulish and Indonesian ship was KRI Katnyak Dain. And we have to understand that Indonesian ship is a Kapitan Patimura class corvette, and it has also participated along with the maritime patrol aircraft of the Indonesia. And INS Kulish is indigenously built missile corvette, and our ship has also participated along with P-8I Boeing maritime patrol aircraft. The main aim of this particular coordinated patrol is ensuring safety and security of the shipping and international trade in the region. We have to understand that as a part of the government of India's vision of Sagar, the Indian Navy has been proactively engaging with countries in the Indian Ocean region for coordinated patrols, operation in exclusive economic zone surveillance, passage exercises and bilateral multilateral exercises towards enhancing regional maritime security. India and Indonesia have both of the countries have especially enjoyed a close and friendly relationship covering a wide spectrum of activities and interactions which have strengthened over the years. To reinforce maritime links, the two navies have been carrying out CORPAT along the International Maritime Patrol boundary line since 2002 with the aim of ensuring safety and security of the shipping and international trade in the region. CORPATs build up understanding and interoperability between the navies and facilitate institution of measures to prevent and suppress illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing, drug trafficking, maritime terrorism, armed robbery and piracy. Going through now with the next important update is regarding the 5th meeting of the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, also known as the IONS. This is considered to be the 5th meeting, and it was organized online through virtual mode, and this was organized by the Indian Navy on 17th of December 2020. And the main personnel who were interacting in this particular webinar were the IONS Working Group on Humanitarian Assistance and Disaster Relief Operations. So those countries that have participated in this particular Indian Ocean Naval Symposium were Australia, Bangladesh, France, India, Indonesia, Iran, Kenya, Maldives, Oman and Thailand. Remember, what are these countries? There are around, how many countries? Around 5 plus 5. There are around 10 countries that were participating in this particular Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, and these 10 countries, they include Australia, Bangladesh, France, India, Indonesia, Iran, Kenya, Maldives, Oman and Thailand. The important regional initiative, this particular one, it enhances maritime cooperation, contributing significantly towards the fostering of the security and stability in the Indian Ocean region. That is it regarding this particular update. Now let us go on with the next important issue, that is regarding the Indian Coast Guard ICG commissioning the next important interceptor boat in Surat, and this particular boat is actually called as what? It is the C454. Okay, C454 is that particular interceptor boat, and it was actually built by L&T Larsen & Toubro at its Hazira plant, and this was commissioned on 15th of December 2020 by the Surat Police Commissioner Ajay Tomar in the presence of the important ICG commander of the Coast Guard region Northwest, Inspector General Rakesh Pal and various other officials. This boat can swiftly and immediately reach out to the location because the whole boat is actually made up of an alloy, and the alloy that is used in this particular ship, it is 2.5 times lighter, and because the whole ship is lighter, it can also be used and its speed will be very high, and it can run 24 hours without outsider logistic support. You have to understand that after getting an intelligence input, the boat can swiftly and immediately reach towards a location, and its capacity is it can run 24 hours without outsider logistic support. It means that at a time of need, we can use this boat to reach the international boundary. So there are a total of around 16 interceptor boats in Gujarat, And two more ships are also going to be commissioned in March and June next year, and this will add more in terms of the security of our country. Our capacity building in all the spheres is essentially focused on making our seas safer and conducive activities in law enforcement and maritime commerce. Okay, so this is regarding the Coast Guard's C-454 ship. Our next important update is regarding inauguration of the indigenous hypersonic wind tunnel at DRDO Hyderabad. Very recently that we have seen that India is that particular country that has very recently demonstrated a hypersonic important missile, and having a hypersonic missile is considered to be that India is only the fourth country to demonstrate that particular feature after USA, Russia and China. But we have to understand that this is considered to be another most important achievement by the DRDO, and our country has very recently inaugurated the hypersonic wind tunnel testing. Okay, so wind tunnel is what actually, sir, what happens is if there is any particular aircraft, for example, for that aircraft, any particular aerodynamics have to be studied regarding the pressure variations or also the temperature variations along the structure of the aircraft. What it will happen, because we need to simulate a flow of air around the aircraft. So when air is flown around that particular aircraft, only then at each and every particular point, like at point A, point B, point C, we will be using some of the most important points. So at each and every particular point, we will be discussing about what is the pressure variation, the temperature distribution at each and every particular point, and then we will calculate. So what will happen actually is we cannot build the whole aircraft and then use it for testing. We will make a sample model of that particular aircraft, and then we will keep it in some particular wind tunnel. So okay, wind tunnel is that particular equipment which will simulate the flow of wind and air in some particular streamlined flow and direction. Okay, so once we simulate that particular flow of air at particular speed, because we can set the speed of air in this particular wind tunnel, and we will set the speed of air like let it be at any particular speed, because this is a wind tunnel, it's a hypersonic wind tunnel. This can be set to a speeds between Mach number 5 to Mach number 12. So at these Mach numbers, our testing equipment will be placed inside, and then this testing equipment's variation will be tested out. So this is considered to be very important one, and building this particular hypersonic wind tunnel is very difficult. Only 2 countries had it before, and our country is considered to be the next important country to be having this particular one. Okay, India is the 3rd country to have such a large facility in terms of the size and operating capability. The other 2 countries is just United States of America and Russia. Okay, so this is a hypersonic wind tunnel HWT testing facility. It is a pressure vacuum driven enclosed free jet facility. That means this whole thing will work upon the system of the pressure vacuum, and it has a nozzle exit of diameter around 1 meter. Okay, so this will simulate a Mach number of 5 to 12. And we have to understand that according to this occasion, Raksha Mantri has actually inaugurated this particular one. And during the exhibition of the large range of missile systems, various avionic systems, other technologies, and various other important personnel, they have also interacted with Raksha Mantri, and they have given very due important inputs regarding this particular hypersonic wind tunnel. We have to understand also in detail that Raksha Mantri has visited DRDO's Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Missile Complex while he was on a visit to Hyderabad's defense important establishments. And during his visit, Honorable Union Minister of State for Home Affairs, Shri G. Kishan Reddy and Dr. G. Satish Reddy, DRDO chairman, have also visited, and they have gone through along with the defense minister during his visit, and they have all interacted with various important issues. So there are multiple news that we have to consider and covering up regarding Raksha Mantri's visit. So today, many things we'll be discussing today. Our next important focus will be the demonstration of anti-drone technologies at DRDO Hyderabad. So not only just inaugurating the hypersonic wind tunnel testing facility at the DRDO Hyderabad, he has also had seen the demonstration of anti-drone technologies that are actually designed by the DRDO Young Scientist Laboratory of the Asymmetric Technologies and Research Center Imarat. Okay, so these are the 2 anti-drone technologies. So these technologies were actually developed and designed by DYSL, AT and RCI. So both of these have also been demonstrated, and this demonstration was also seen by Rajnath Singh during his visit, and he has also checked that this particular technology had multiple capabilities, including neutralizing ground targets and anti-drone applications to counter many important stationary as well as high-speed moving targets. Our next focus will be also that our defense minister of the state affairs, like home minister, like we have to understand that G. Kishan Reddy, who is the Minister of State for the Home Affairs, on 18th of December 2020, he has inaugurated the foundation stone of the explosive test facility for propellant and explosive systems. Okay, so this is very, very strategic one. So this actually facility, it will actually be used for the design validation, evaluation of missile subsystems under different environmental conditions. Okay, so we have to understand that G. Kishan Reddy said that he was very happy that so much of high technology work is happening in Hyderabad region where he himself belongs. And Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, he has also addressed the DRDO fraternity and he applauded the phenomenal technological advancements and recent series of successful missions and technological achievements by various clusters of DRDO. It will be HS-3DV or Rudram or quick reaction surface to air missile or smart torpedo or quantum key distribution technology. Many things have happened in DRDO Hyderabad. This clearly indicates about how DRDO Hyderabad is progressing miles ahead along with in keeping up our future secure and keeping up our nation's defense technologies much more robust and very, very safe. Going through now with the next important one is regarding that Raksha Mantri has handed over the DRDO systems to the Armed Forces Chief. So there are three important systems that are actually handed towards the three armed forces. So Indian Maritime Situational Awareness System (IMSAS) was handed over towards Chief of Naval Staff Admiral Karambir Singh by the Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh. Then Astra Mark 1 missile was handed over to Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhadoria by Rajnath Singh, and Rajnath Singh has also handed over Border Surveillance System or BOSS to the Chief of Army Staff General M.M. Naravani. All of these were handed over on 18th of December 2020. Remember the date. So what are these three, sir? There are three important systems that we need to check about. First one is IMSAS or Indian Maritime Situational Awareness System. Then comes Astra Mark 1 missile, and then comes the Border Surveillance System. So okay, we will go through about the specialities about all of these three systems and why were they handed over by the defense minister towards their respective chief of army staff or naval staff of the air staff, whoever person is concerned. So let us go through. First one is regarding the border surveillance system or BOSS. BOSS is actually an all-weather electronic surveillance system which will automatically detect the intrusions in harsh, high altitude sub-zero temperature areas. Okay, so in these sub-zero temperature areas means what? All of these areas are the Ladakh border areas. So in these Ladakh border areas, this particular system will automatically detect if any particular person or any particular technology is entering into the Indian territory, and it will give the input towards our armed forces. This is actually designed and developed by the Instruments Research and Development Establishment IRD of Dehradun, and these systems are being produced or manufactured by the Bharat Electronics Limited of Machilipatnam. Okay, going through the next important update is regarding the Indian Maritime Situational Awareness System or IMSAS. What is this, sir? IMSAS is actually the state-of-the-art, fully indigenous, high-performance intelligence software system. This will provide global maritime situational picture, sir. The main use of this particular IMSAS as of now, if you have to see, that it provides maritime operational picture from naval headquarters to each individual ship in sea. This will enable the naval command and control. Okay, what it will do, sir? It will actually give the complete maritime operational picture or MOP. This will be actually delivered from naval headquarters to each individual ship that is located in the sea, and this will give the complete strategic update to each and every particular ship in the very crucial important areas or crucial important times, let it be war or during the peace time or during interception or surveillance or interdiction times. Okay. So who would actually design and develop it, sir? So the concept of this particular system, this particular software and the complete development, it was done by the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, CAIR of Bengaluru and Indian Navy both. Okay, both of them have jointly conceptualized and developed it. But the implementation was actually done by Bharat Electronics Limited of Bangalore. Okay, so BEL of Bangalore has actually implemented it, but the concept and development was actually done by jointly by both Indian Navy and by CAIR of Bangalore. Going through with the next important one is regarding Astra Mark 1. Astra Mark 1 we have already discussed few days back on 16th of December itself. So Astra Mark 1 is indigenously developed first beyond visual range BVR missile. This can be launched from Sukhoi Su-30 MKI, LCA Tejas, MiG-29 and MiG-29K of Indian Navy fighter. Okay, so this is actually developed by the DRDL of Hyderabad, and this is actually produced or manufactured by Bharat Dynamics Limited or BDL of Hyderabad. That is it regarding all of these important inputs. Now, going through with the next important input is regarding Raksha Mantri addressing the 4th Military Literature Festival through virtual link. This is what I was discussing with you in the introduction session. I already told you that he actually appealed to the youth not to miss out on any opportunity to interact with veterans. And this was that particular time when even Captain Amrinder Singh, the Chief Minister of Punjab, the Finance Minister of the various important of the Punjab, and various other important issues, they were personally they were present. Even Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh has also interacted in this particular military literature festival through virtual link, and Raksha Mantri has appreciated the holding of various events and discussions during this festival that were not only limited towards the military subject, that were also covering the cultural aspects of our country. We have to understand that this is very, very crucial and important one. And speaking on the occasion, Raksha Rajya Mantri Shri Shripad Naik said that DRDO is playing an important role in the self-reliance of the defense, and these are considered to be very, very important issues. Raksha Mantri said that this year's Military Literature Festival is being coinciding with the Swarnim Vijay Divas celebrations of the 50th anniversary of the 1971 war, and these are considered to be very, very crucial examples, and these will give the valor and the display of our brave soldiers standing as a fine example even today. Governor of Punjab Shri Vijayendra Pal Singh Badnor and Chief Minister of Punjab also have addressed in this particular event. Now, that is it. Going through with the next important update is regarding India and United Kingdom. Both of the countries have recently agreed on key elements of the 10-year roadmap to broaden the ties and boost the cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region, sir. So, who actually came to India? Actually, United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab has visited our country, and we actually had talks with our Finance Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar, and both of them have had nearly 4-hour long talks, and all of these 4-hour talks have actually been focused on 5 key areas. First one is trade and security. Second one is defense and security. Third one is climate change. Fourth one is healthcare, and fifth one is people-to-people connectivity. These are the 5 important key areas that both of these UK Foreign Secretary and Finance Minister of our country have discussed together. And we have to understand that they have also discussed that about the upcoming British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's visit to India during the Republic Day of our country in 2021. Going through with the next update is regarding India-Maldives Defense Cooperation Webinar and Expo was actually conducted on 17th of December 2020, and the theme of this particular webinar was Joint Indo-Maldives High-Level Defense Management. I repeat, Joint Indo-Maldives High-Level Defense Management. This was actually organized by the Department of Defense Production DPP and FICCI, which is Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. This webinar is a part of Aero India 21 series of webinars. This is being organized to boost the defense cooperation with the friendly foreign countries, and this is considered also to be a very, very important one. Going through regarding this particular issue, we have to understand that both the sides spoke about close, cordial and multi-dimensional relationship with the countries, and we have to understand that Shri Sanjay Jaju further had said that Indian ecosystem is fast progressing in realizing the dream of an Atmanirbhar Bharat through the government's flagship Make in India initiative. We have to understand that it is about producing cost-effective quality products is not just to meet the domestic requirements, but also cater to the requirement of the world, especially the friendly foreign nations, including Maldives. Going through with the next update is regarding the Defense Acquisition Council has recently held its first meeting, and under its first meeting of the DAP 2020's procedure, it has recently approved to procure the equipment worth around 27,000 crore rupees from just the domestic industry. Okay, so this is just giving like wings towards the complete important products that are completely made in India. We have to understand that after DAP 2020 came into existence, the DAP's Defense Acquisition Council had its first meeting very few days back, and it has accepted the first set of the acceptances of necessities, and it has accorded with the most of them are actually from the highest category from Buy Indian IDDM projects. Okay, IDDM means Indian Defense and Development and Manufacture in our country. So these acquisition proposals include various systems that are actually DRDO's airborne early warning control systems for Indian Air Force, next generation offshore patrol vessels for our Navy, and modular bridges for Indian Army. So these are very, very crucial updates, and acquisition proposals are very important and crucial. That you have to understand that 6 of the 7 proposals, that is 27,000 crore out of 28,000 crore for which AONs were granted, will be sourced from Indian industry to give a boost to the Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives of the government. Going through with the next important update is regarding the Air Force Academy's passing out parade, which was held on 19th of December 2020, very recently. So Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has attended towards this particular POP in Hyderabad in the Air Force Academy's combined graduation parade in Dundigal. So after attending this particular POP, he then later on visited towards the DRDO's facilities, and then comes all of these. So we have to understand that AFA has performed the graduation parades of the 100th course that is being held up in front of the Defense Minister. Rajnath Singh interacted with Indian Air Forces trainees and their families. A combined graduation parade with full military splendor took place to mark the successful completion of the pre-commissioning training of the flight cadets of various branches of the Indian Air Force. During the function, Defense Minister conferred the President's Commission to the graduating trainees. The ceremony included the presentation of wings and brevets to the flight cadets who successfully completed flying and navigation training respectively. Rajnath Singh also awarded wings to the officers of Indian Navy, Indian Coast Guard and officers from friendly foreign countries on the successful commission of their flying training at AFA. The flight cadets from the flying branch standing first in the order of merit was awarded the Chief of the Air Staff's Sword of Honor for excelling in overall training. The awardee had a privilege of commanding the parade besides receiving the President's plaque for being the best trainee. Reviewing officer also presented the President's plaque to those who stand first in the overall merit in flying and ground duty branches. Event also had an aerobic display by the Su-30 aircraft, famous Surya Kiran aerobatic team, Sarang helicopter display team, Pilatus PC-7 trainer, and a flypast by the formations of PC-7, Kiran and Hawk aircraft. Autumn term CGP heralded a milestone event in the annals of the history of AFA, as the current 206th course happens to be the 100th course to pass out from the portals of this academy. Air Force Academy celebrated its Golden Jubilee year in 2021 as the academy completes 50 glorious years of its existence since January of 1971. Our next important update is regarding extension of China-Russia agreement on the mutual notification for the ballistic missile. So this is considered to be very crucial update, wherein which the Chinese state councillor and the Minister of National Defense Wei Fenghe has interacted with Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu on Tuesday, and both of them have signed the protocol to extend the period of the agreement, which was inked on October of 13, 2009 by 10 years. Okay, so both of the countries, China and Russia, have had an agreement around 10 years back on October of 13, 2009, and that agreement was actually going to end up. So both of these countries, nations have, defense ministries have discussed together, and they have extended this particular proposal. So this is considered to be a very crucial one. On the basis, the militaries of the two countries are ready to strengthen practical cooperation and enrich bilateral relations, as said by the two defense ministries. When asked for the comments, spokesperson Wang Wenbin has told that the signing of the protocol is vivid manifestation of the high level and particularly of the China-Russia comprehensive strategic partnership of coordination for a new era. China is actually willing to work with Russia to continuously enrich the essence of bilateral relations and deepen the pragmatic cooperation between the two militaries so as to bring more benefits to the two countries and their peoples and make more contributions to the world and stability. As of now, India is having very hostile relationship with China, and both the countries are continuously having a military standoff between both of them when considered to be the Ladakh situation and standoff issues. But still, China has been increasing its military friendship with Russia, is giving a very clear demonstration of our country to relook our defense procedures and procurements. Going through with the next important update is, and the final update that I'm going to discuss is regarding that with an eye on Iran. Israel has recently tested a missile defense system, and it has recently conducted military exercises. So Israel's defense ministry has said it on Tuesday that it has conducted a series of the successful live fire drills with its multi-range missile defense system, providing protection against threats posed by arch enemy Iran and its proxies along Israel's northern and southern boundaries. So defense officials of the Israel, they are for the first time they have conducted an integrated test bringing together the various components of the country's multi-layer defense systems. So these defense systems include Arrow, which is a long-range missile, David Sling, which is meant to shoot down medium-range missiles, and Iron Dome, which has been used for years to defend against the incoming rocket fire from the Gaza Strip. You have to understand that Moshe Patel, head of the Israel's Middle Defense Organization, he has said that the drill demonstrated a multi-layered approach towards dealing with the threats And using this approach, a variety of threats may be identified and intercepted via full coordination and interoperability between the system. Israel faces a wide range of rocket and missile threats from Palestinian militants in Gaza, from the Iranian-backed Shiite militant group in Hezbollah in neighboring Lebanon, and from Iran. Officials have expressed concerns about Iran's development of long-range weapons and what they say are Hezbollah attempts to import or develop guided missiles capable of striking virtually anywhere in Israel with great precision. We have to understand that Brigadier General Ran Koshav, who is the head of the Israeli Air Defense Forces Air Defense Program, he has said that the drill has simulated a series of threats and it was a major accomplishment to intercept a cruise missile, which he said are tricky targets because of their speed, altitude and maneuverability. That is it regarding all of these important defense updates that we have discussed regarding the recent 5 days. Now we will have a very quick review by going through some of the most important questions, by having a very brief understanding of the topics that we have discussed today. Going through with the first and foremost question is, which Indian ship has participated in 35th edition of India-Indonesia Coordinated Patrol? Is it INS Kamorta or INS Kolkata or INS Kulish or INS Sahyadri? Correct answer is INS Kulish. Okay, going through with the next important question is, meeting of IONS working group on HADR was organized by Indian Navy on 17th of December 2020 through virtual mode. Which among these countries' navies did not participate in it? It was the South African Navy that did not participate in it. Other 10 countries are there. Mention in the comment section what all are the other 10 countries and all. Okay, going through with the next question is, the state-of-the-art hypersonic wind tunnel test facility inaugurated at DRDO Hyderabad is pressure vacuum driven enclosed free jet facility that will simulate Mach numbers between what to what? It can be simulating Mach numbers between 5 to 12. Going through with the next question is, during Rajnath Singh's visit to Hyderabad, 2 anti-drone technologies were demonstrated by which 2 DRDO labs? Is it DRDO Young Scientist Laboratory of Asymmetric Technologies or Research Center Imarat, or both options A and B, or Liquid Propulsion Laboratory at DRDL? The correct answer for this particular one is option C, both A and B. Both DRD, Devisel AT and RCI are those important labs that demonstrated the anti-drone technologies. Going through with the next question is, which among these is not an outcome of the recent meeting of United Kingdom Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab and India's Finance Minister S. Jaishankar? Is it option A, India-UK agree on key elements of 5-year roadmap to broaden their ties and boost cooperation in Indo-Pacific, or they also talked about security in the Indian Ocean region, or the 5 key areas were trade and prosperity, defense and security, climate change, healthcare and people-to-people connectivity, or British Prime Minister Boris Johnson will be visiting our country next month to attend the Republic Day celebrations as the chief guest? The correct answer for this particular one is option A. This particular statement is wrong. This is not just 5 years, this is actually the 10-year roadmap to broaden the ties between both the countries. And the other 3 are absolutely correct regarding the meeting of both UK Foreign Secretary and India's Finance Minister. Going through with the next important question is, border surveillance system BOS is designed and developed by what? It is actually designed and developed by Instruments Research and Development Establishment of Dehradun, or IRD Dehradun. BOS is actually produced by which particular important defense establishment? It is produced by Bharat Electronics Limited of Machilipatnam. Indian Maritime Situational Awareness System MSAS is designed and conceptualized by Indian Navy and what? It is actually designed and conceptualized jointly by both Indian Navy and Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics CAIR of Bengaluru. Going through with the next question is, in the first meeting of the Defense Acquisition Council under the new regime of DAP 2020, majority of acceptances of necessities are being accorded in the highest categorization of what? Okay, so the highest category under this particular one is by Indian IDDM. Okay. Going through with the next important question is, Joint Indo-Maldives High-Level Defense Engagement webinar was organized by the DPP of the Ministry of Defense and what? It is jointly organized by the Defense Production Department along with the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI only. That is it regarding all of these important questions. Now we will have the question of the day, and the question of the day for today is, what is flag superior and flag inferior related to the pennant number of the ships? I repeat, what is flag superior and flag inferior related to the pennant number of ships? The answer for this particular one and the complete details regarding this particular question I will be giving you in the next session. Until then, stay tuned to SSB Crack Exams, subscribe to this channel, download the Android app from Google Play Store. Always stay safe, stay healthy, keep smiling, be confident, always stay tuned with us. Jai Hind.